Hi everyone, welcome back to Crossways. I'm Steph Horton and I'm with the legend,
Well,
Ian Wright.
watch it, Steph Horton. You're the legend. How you doing?
I'm good, are you? Definitely. But I was gutted that City got beat, I'm not going to lie.
I was watching it.
And you know what? They actually deserve to win in terms of the chances that they
Yep.
created.
Yep.
I think normally that's probably the other way around, like Chelsea creating a lot of chances. Just not probably being that clinical, and in City have been clinical all season. Like you look like Sir Bunny Shaw, you've got Medema. Like it's just, I don't know. I just don't know why it didn't happen. But I think for me, obviously Chelsea just do what Chelsea do. They find
Yeah.
a way, and
Yeah.
once again, I'm disappointed with the goal that we conceded because I think there's so many errors that are leading to that, and I think for one, to stop the cross, Yui has to do a
Yeah.
little bit better. And
Yeah.
obviously, she's probably not expecting Baltimore to cross it with her right foot. And I
No.
get it because you probably want to force her onto that because
Onto
she's
the
so
left side.
left-footed. But then once the ball gets into the box, I think we're so deep defensively from the corner, we need to get out. And for me, the keeper I think she has to come and claim that, if I'm being
Yeah,
honest.
I think so too.
Do you think that as well?
Absolutely, yeah, without a doubt. Because in that, especially like you said there, they are deep, but she's just got to just like command that box. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? She's just got to do that. The thing with Chelsea, what I do like about Chelsea and what Chelsea will always do is if you do not, and like you say, I think City's only lost 2 games and it's to Chelsea.
Mhm.
You know, they've got something over them. They've obviously got something over them. But if City could have taken some of those chances, I think that could have been a massive boost
Yeah.
to finish, especially to finish off the season. I'm thinking maybe it's because it's the League Cup, they may have eased off, but I don't think they did because they made so many chances. You could see how upset Viv Miedema was because she's got that kind of body language at the best of times when you consider that she's
Yeah.
making some good moves, passing the balls into, I think it was to Casper on the right-hand side, and she is a poor across the box, or she missed the target completely. And you can see how frustrated she is. She's never going to change how she is. That's what I like about the way Viv plays. But I'm thinking, do you think it's because it's the League Cup? Are they really bothered? They look bothered on the day, but are they bothered that one is the one what they've lost? And I would be bothered because, again, it's an opportunity to beat Chelsea, to show them that we're getting ready to take over the mantle.
Yeah.
I think that's what they missed out more than anything here. They've lost 2 games this season, and they're both to Chelsea, and that will be hanging over them. They've got to get rid of that. That's a hoodoo over them.
Yeah, I think when I look at it from like that City perspective, like I think in terms of performances and creating chances, I think if they were to play Chelsea tomorrow and create the same, it's a different game.
Yeah.
It's a different game, and I
Yeah.
think for me that was a promising sign that we have the players to be able to actually go at this Chelsea squad. And we were missing Carolyn, and I think Carolyn would have added a little bit of a different dynamic because of her pace. We obviously
Yeah.
got Grace Clinton coming in, bit more of a ball player, whereas Carolyn likes to run behind. Would that have
Yeah.
caused Chelsea a few more problems? I thought
Without a doubt.
Lauren Hemp was outstanding. I think in terms of that was probably one of her best performances this season. And I think the worrying thing is if Bunny isn't firing, who is that person that's going to take the
Yeah.
mantle? And I really do think that could potentially be Mary Fowler when she's fit, and whether she's going to be back fit for that Chelsea game at home in a week or 10 days' time. I think that is going to be
It's
a
a
huge
big one for her
game.
to come. Yeah, it's a big one for her to come in for. How long's she been out now, though, Steph?
God,
It's a long time. It's a massive game.
she did it in
come
Man
back
United
for.
in the FA Cup, didn't
Yeah.
she? I think so.
But
God,
like
it must be 8, 9 months maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, like you have to give Chelsea credit because again, they will punish you if you do not finish them off, because that's what they do. You know, what's this seventh final on the spin. Their consistency is amazing, and what we're seeing, especially even with Millie, with Germa beside her, even though Germa now you're starting to see her, she's getting into the flow of it now. You could see
Yeah.
that she's, you know, with someone like Germa next to her, of course she's going to be a little bit more safe. But I do believe, and I'm hoping, you know, with our game against Chelsea tomorrow, that Stina plays and we can get the ball through the midfield quick to see if we could get Stina going up against maybe Millie. Obviously, Germa will try and cover her, but the more we can get that going, the better. Because as great as Millie is, you know what I mean, Millie's always, even in her prime, you've got to try and isolate her.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to try and isolate her. And that's what I'm hoping we can do tomorrow. But her experience is invaluable to Chelsea. Alicia Thompson, again, I'm loving her.
Did you
Loving the way
see that
she plays.
they put Thompson and Kerr together? So in terms of the formation, they played
Yeah,
obviously a bit of a 3-5-2 because
yeah,
when City were attacking, it started to come into a back five. But
yes,
I actually thought it was quite clever that they played Thompson and Kerr,
yeah,
even though they probably didn't do what we would expect them to do, like more regularly and more
yeah,
consistent. But I think their two pace and kind of
mm,
cleverness working together
yeah.
could be a problem for Arsenal at the weekend.
Without a doubt, because especially whatever you say with Sam Kerr, people are saying like she seems to like she's lost a little, maybe half a yard or something. Maybe she's not completely up to speed. What's going on? But like for me, with Alicia Thompson with her, if she could keep herself in and around the box, there's no the ball will get there,
And she
and
knows
then
where the
she'll just
ball is.
exactly, and she just does what Sam Kerr does. So again, massive danger them two. I like the thought of them two because if I'm playing against that Chelsea side and them two up front, I'm probably going to be a bit wary of them. I'm going to
Yeah.
be wary of them. So congratulations to Chelsea. Congratulations to United for getting there. But I got to say, I would like to see United win something this season because I think, again, for their progression, it would be massive.
I don't know if I can say the same, but last thing on City, I just don't think this will derail the team.
No,
I really don't.
it shouldn't as well.
And I think okay, yeah, you want to be in a cup final, yeah, you want to be within a chance, but I think for me, if they can hopefully wrap up this league title, it would mean more. So yeah, looking forward to when they do play Chelsea and obviously Arsenal in the same week. That is going to be a huge week. But
Massive week for
I
them.
think performances is there. It's not a dip in performance. It's just there, and we weren't able to convert. But
I feel about it.
okay, looking forward to this weekend. A big
Yes.
weekend for WSL.
I'm going to the Chelsea Arsenal game tomorrow.
I think that's obviously the standout game of the weekend. Stamford Bridge.
It's hard, to be honest, for the two teams, there's hardly anything on it apart from the fact that, like I mentioned earlier, that if Arsenal do get through their playoffs, which I kind of think that they will, even though they're not playing well enough for me to be majorly confident, but hopefully they will. But like, it's an opportunity to play Chelsea and put down a marker against Chelsea because you might have to play them if you do get through the playoffs. It's a big game for Arsenal tomorrow.
I think it's even bigger for Chelsea, if I'm being honest. I think in terms of the league table, to get them 3 points against Arsenal before City play London City Lionesses the day, it closes that gap for Chelsea. And it is going to be an interesting game because obviously both teams played Wednesday night. Arsenal, like we've said previously, probably underperformed this season, a bit more under pressure. Can they really kind of restore their pride playing against Chelsea? But for Chelsea, it's the first time they've ever been chasing.
Yes.
And trying to close that gap between City, and it's probably a new experience for them in terms of the club for the last few years. They've always been the ones that have been at the top of the pack and leading the way, and they've been so good at that. So,
and they look like they're kind of finding a bit of form with what they're doing. You know, Lauren James is back. You know, Alicia Thompson looks sharp. You know, you got Sam Kerr is always dangerous. You know, Erin Cuthbert's the work rate she puts in. Arsenal need to be ready for that game, and Arsenal haven't won. Let me see, Arsenal yet to win a big game this season.
yeah,
You know what? With everything that's happened up to this point, this would be a good one for Arsenal to come in and put in a kind of like a. I know it's the biggest performance of their lives, a Barcelona performance where they really do. Everybody turns up. We finally take some of these chances. We're ruthless with the chances. You know, like we're dogged in the midfield because Chelsea will be that. So you have to be.
You need that in these big games, though, Ian. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
sometimes it gets a little bit more like so techie and tactical, where actually it's about the fight, it's about the want and who wants it more. And
Yes.
it's probably like a bit too old school, but I think sometimes in them games that's what you need and that's what you get through. It doesn't matter the performance, it's about the win at this moment in time. And I think Arsenal have got that in the locker potentially,
Yeah.
but it's whether they choose to use it in this game or not. But for me, I think there's pressure on both teams. This is why it's such a big game in terms of Chelsea, the league. Do I think Arsenal can kind of close that gap? Probably not, and that's not to be disrespectful, but 10 points is a lot of points.
It's a massive amount of points. And you've got someone like Sandy Baltimore's like found that form again. She's back being that player. She's just so dangerous. Germa seems to be getting her fitness up now. You know, they just again they'll start to do what they do because they know what it's like at this stage of the season. You know what I mean? Whether they're gonna have a real blast and run for the league at this stage, or whether they're just trying to, which I believe that they might be trying to, is get their minds right, get their players in the form at the right time for the Champions League push. And I think that if them come, us Arsenal going to their place tomorrow and them beating us is something that I think that they'll be looking to do. Absolutely, they'll be looking to do, because it just gives them the momentum to kick on again.
I love watching the game. Actually, think it'll be a good game.
Yeah, I think so
it'll be
too.
A bit feisty, so.
Yeah, I think so too.
I reckon maybe a red card, me. Just a prediction.
You think a red? Oh, you've thrown a red card in.
I know. Sorry, guys. I'm not saying who for, but I'm just saying I think it can potentially turn into something like that because of what's at stake.
Well, you know what? I wouldn't mind if it was a rough and tumble game, because I just want to see something from us. I want to see a reaction from us.
Yeah.
You know, I want to see a reaction from us. I want to see a reaction from the players. You know what I mean? Because like I say, with Rene, I just want to see a little bit more, like, I don't know, like energy. Yes, that's what I want to see. And I want that transferred into the players, because they don't seem to be playing with that at the moment. So, you know, it's a perfect game. It's a perfect game for them to answer a few questions.
So, going on to your favourite part of the show, which is predictions time.
You know, I'm so good at predictions.
I
feel really good. I feel good this week about my predictions.
Come on then, you can start this one. So,
Brighton.
Tonight, Everton, Brighton.
You just don't know what to make of Everton.
I can't work them out.
I need to watch them again. I went to the Hill Dickinson earlier on in the season to see him, and it wasn't their best game, but like then you watch them. They turn it on and off. I'm gonna go with. I think I'm gonna go with 2-1 to Brighton.
I'm gonna go 1-1.
You've just gone safe.
I have, actually. Chelsea, Arsenal.
You know what? This is a really big one for us. Like we've just said, if we could start like we start against United and take the chances, you know something, you have to fancy Chelsea at home, especially with the way we've played. But I'm going to go 2-2.
Oh.
I'm going to go 2-2.
That's not safe, but...
I think, you know what? That's me being generous to Arsenal. That's me being generous to Arsenal.
I think 2-0 Chelsea. Is Olivia Smith suspended for this one then, if she got sent off? She will be, won't she?
Yes, she's suspended. Yeah, so she's out. So Olivia Smith's out.
I'm going to go 2-0 Chelsea.
2-0 Chelsea. You know what? Okay. Sunday, Villa, Man United. Who's first, me or you on this one?
I'll go. I think United will be too much for Villa.
I think so too.
I'm going to go 3-1 United.
You're giving Villa a go? Yeah. I go 2-1 United. In fact, the way my Letizia and the guys are playing, I'm going to go 2-0 to United.
Okay.
I'm going 2-0. Leicester, West Ham.
That's a big game for West Ham, you know this.
It's massive for West Ham. I think West Ham are going to beat them. As Alicia Lehman's just signed for Leicester.
Yeah, she's just signed. So whether she'll be involved, but back in the WSL from Como? Yeah.
Yes.
Leicester have made some really good signings in terms of experience of the league.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see that one. See how if she plays. But I'm going to go with West Ham. I'm going to go West Ham to 3-1. I'm giving them 3 goals. West Ham.
I'm going to go 1-0 Leicester.
Wow. See, I like goals.
Yeah, you do. That's why you're a striker. Yes, I'm like all 1-0 wins. That's fine for me.
It's an interesting game. Liverpool-Tottenham.
Liverpool made a good signing in Denise O'Sullivan. That number 6 that I think, obviously, the whole game plan is revolved around that holding midfielder.
Yeah.
But I still fancy Spurs. I think Spurs have done so well this season. To be sitting in 4th on the same... joint 3rd with the same points as Arsenal is a really good season.
Magnificent season, Tottenham.
Liverpool have to win, but I just can't see them winning.
No. Who are you going? I'm not going for a Liverpool win.
I'm going to go Spurs. I'm going to go 2-0 Spurs.
1-0 Spurs. I'm going to go.
And the last one.
London City Lionesses, Man City. I'm going to go City to beat them. 3-1. I'm going to go.
I hope so.
No, you know why I say that as well? Because of the way they played against Chelsea, how disappointed they were, but the chances they made. If they start with the same vein, then they're gonna blow London City away.
I'm going to go 2-0 City. As in Man City, not London City.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's see what happens. I'm excited to watch the games this weekend.
Excited. You know, I'm actually looking forward to the Arsenal Chelsea game I'm going to tomorrow, because I haven't been able to get to too many games this season. So I'm looking forward to going to that one. And I just want to see something.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to see something, because what's left now? You know what I mean? We've got to go hard against Chelsea. We've got to get through. Hopefully we can get through the playoffs, play Chelsea again, beat Chelsea, and then find something in the Champions League in respects of salvaging. That's what I'm saying, because it's been a massively disappointing season in the WSL for Arsenal, coming off of such a euphoric summer. So hopefully they can finish the season on a high, and then we'll see what happens in the summer.
I'm looking forward to the text updates from the group tomorrow at Stamford Bridge. That'll be good while I'm working. I'll be watching. I'll be keeping an eye on it also. But have a great weekend, right?
Nice one. Don't work too hard. Enjoy yourself.
I will do. I'll keep in touch anyway. But thanks everyone for listening.
Thanks a lot. We love you guys. Thanks a lot.